Okay, doing another test live stream since YouTube appears to have lost my previous 20-minute live stream. And I really don't feel like pulling up Minecraft again. This time I'm going to monitor the stream to see if anything happens. To be quite honest, I shouldn't really have to monitor it except for comments and chat, but since that whole entire 20 minutes has disappeared, I'm now pulling up the live stream again, but this time to see the actual video. Because obviously I cannot trust YouTube to do this simple task. And it now says I'm live. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hop into game and see what happens. Hopefully nothing stupid's going to happen. This time it's only going to be a 5-minute stream just because of the fact that I really don't have any time to actually do everything that I did in that 20-minute stream. Quite disappointing. Quite disappointing indeed. Wow. Game crash. Excuse me while I, can I actually pause this? No, I cannot pause this from what I can tell. Yeah, I'm just gonna close that. Close. And relaunch. So while you guys are waiting, I'll go on and explain what happened in the last live stream. During the last lost live stream that YouTube, for some reason, did not capture, we were playing the FiIK modpack. And during that one, we did around 20 minutes of test footage, as I just told you. During that test footage, I decided to see if I could test the machine's limit, as in the one that I'm using right now, by taking on a few mobs while also employing a heavy shader pack like Sonic Ether's shader pack. Sure enough, I started out in the 40s and 50s, but then when I turned up the difficulty to normal, the FPS went down to around 30s as expected. However, the FPS dropped even more as expected when it started raining. So everything went as expected throughout most of that video. However, at the end of that video, after getting killed by a baby zombie, a strange new visual effect, or not exactly a structure, appeared, which looked like distorted black smoke of some sort. It showed up while I was trying to get back to the previous location at which I had died, and I tried to investigate it, but haven't quite had success in finding out what it is just yet. But that is pretty much the summary of the entire 28 minutes that was just lost. Somewhere in the middle of that 20 minutes, OBS temporarily lost connection, but then quickly reconnected with YouTube's servers, and I've had that happen before, but I've never lost a live stream to it. To be quite frank, this is the only live stream that I can ever recall even having lost in recent past. So, yeah, I just lost 20 to 30 minutes worth of footage, and to be quite honest, that 20 minutes is not coming back. I have other things that I have to do today, so I'm just going to hop into this, and hopefully we won't suffer the same issue. I'm currently monitoring the live stream while also playing game, So let's hope that everything goes well. During the last stream, we did not have a crash like that at all. The game did not crash during the last stream. So this is kind of a first for me. The FiIK, actually. Yeah, let's just let everything load in real fast. The FiIK modpack tends not to crash too easily. So I can't really tell what happened at this point. However, as you can see, I'm in creative mode. And, oh, don't tell me this is a thing. Ah. Now for some reason I can't use this map at all. Great. Let me just pull up Task Manager here. Yeah, this is going a lot worse than last time for some reason. Well, since I'm having Minecraft crash so many times now, I'll go on and explain what happened during the last playthrough and why I'm in Game Mode 1 Creative. The reason why I'm in Game Mode 1 is because during the last playthrough, which was right after that 20 minutes that I live streamed, I closed the video and then went to go investigate that black mass of whatever that is over there. And I tried flying over it to see what it looked like, and I just flew around it a little bit to see what was up, and I couldn't really make out what it was. But that was really the last thing that I did before I saved and exited the world, and now we are encountering this issue right here. As you can see, the game has crashed twice now. I really don't know what happened between now and then, but I guess I'll just have to keep trying. Or better yet, I could just try loading and making a whole new world, even though it would suck to, because then I'd lose any progress I made in that world. Perhaps there's just something wrong with that one particular world, in which case I'll have to be more careful about dying. But yeah, sorry for all of the delays and everything. Hopefully this live stream will stay up, because I don't really feel like re-explaining everything twice in a row. In fact, I'm going to check something. So this is game output, I think. So I'm looking for the time at which the world ended up closing. Because during that time is when the crash happened. I think I have OpenEye on here as well, so maybe that caught it. Doesn't look like it. Yeah, don't have it. I'll just make a new world. And we'll see what happens. Alright. We are in the world right now. I'm gonna hit F3. Maybe that last world is just corrupted. Wow. Alright. Something is genuinely wrong now. I might actually have to reinstall this entire mod pack. Genuinely cannot tell what's going on at this point. What happens if I restore a backup? This live stream's been going for how many minutes? I've been recording for 15 minutes. So around 20 minutes ago would be in the 20s. 26. This is from 11. Around here should be good enough. So that's a world backup. What I'm going to do is go into save as since the game isn't open anymore. There. Do we have any backups for that other world? That's a relatively new world, so I'm not expecting anything to be wrong with that. Mods. What if I just say, yeah, what if I go in here, get rid of that. Where is it? Where's crash reports? Well, that is very strange. I'd expect a crash report from today, seeing that we had a crash today. What's in logs? Where is open with? $342. So 48 at 51. I'm going to try one more time before giving up today. I'll even leave Task Manager open. see what happens. Currently in difficulty peaceful. FPS is 50. Let's move around a little bit. As you can see, FiIK is not as resource intensive as dynamic natures. And I'm hoping I'm not jinxing this run, because I've never experienced these crashes before. Now what happens if I pause? Okay. As long as that memory counter there keeps changing, that means the game hasn't frozen. GPU is at normal, 99% utilization with the shader pack enabled. CPU is at 20, memory's at 40. I could easily see that jumping to 50 if anything gets intense. Only thing pegged so far is GPU. Let's see what's going on. Now, the last time I tried to stream anything, I changed the difficulty from peaceful to normal. And nothing went wrong until after I exited that world. But before that happened, I had died, then tried getting back to this point. And during that time when I tried to get back to this point, that strange structure that I told you about a few minutes ago showed up. I exited the world, and ever since I wasn't able to get it working. Okay. Okay. Okay, so I'm looking at this stream from my tablet, and my tablet's not taking the 60 FPS too nicely right now. So it's going to be a little bit hard for me to tell what's going on and whether or not everything's coming over clearly. If I remember correctly, there is indeed a structure of some sort, a witch spawner of some sort nearby. And there are the pumpkins that I found. So here are the pumpkins. I remember this. I'm going to take a few of them like I did last time. This one. Okay. I've taken a few of the pumpkins. I'm going to put them in my inventory. Okay, now over somewhere in this direction, I think. I'm not sure. Yes, there should be a witch spawner nearby. there is the witch spawner. And there is nothing in it. Okay. I'm gonna walk near it. Ah! Interesting. Now, guys, you saw me zoom in a few seconds ago. Did you see anything in that box? Interesting. What if I go over here? Not moving. Interesting. Interesting. It starts moving as I get closer. That's actually pretty cool. Okay, I didn't notice that before. That is actually pretty cool. Now I'm kind of hesitant. I'm kind of hesitant about switching the difficulty to something higher like normal because I'm thinking I might encounter the same crash as last time. Which is strange because I've never encountered this while playing the FiIK mod pack before. So this is a new one for me. I've had my character die in this mod pack before. I've had that structure show up before in the world, and to be quite honest, I've even had the tombstone and everything show up before, and I never had that issue where I just couldn't log into the world successfully without it crashing after a few seconds. So what you're seeing is actually a first time, because I've never even seen that before. And that is one of the reasons why this mod pack is still considered to be developmental and not finalized, not complete or ready for its first full-on release yet. Strangely enough, though, the FPS is a tad bit higher than last time. I remember being in the lower 40s, upper 30s, but this time it is now in the upper 40s. So something is a tad bit different between this playthrough and the last one. Really don't know what it is, but it is a good thing that world backups are being kept by Aroma Backup, because Aroma Backup has made it easier for me to troubleshoot things just now. So something happened during that stint where I turned up the difficulty where I was unable to access that world successfully. I don't really know what it was, but I'm just going to run around a little bit in difficulty peaceful, and later on in the vid I might get up the cojones to actually turn up the difficulty. But not yet. So Journey Map actually keeps track of these locations, which is good, because this one right here should not exist currently, if I remember correctly, because I haven't died yet. This one also should not appear yet because I have not died yet. So these two are kind of holdovers. I could try going over there to see if they're still there. Let's go over here. Interesting. So this is where I died. Yeah, I died right about here to that baby zombie. Ah, there's that raid. There is that raid. And here's that same little farm that I found before. I don't know if you guys saw that before because the previous live stream, the last live stream that I did do, did not appear to be saved to YouTube. So what I'm going to do is I am going to remove that waypoint on journey map. The death one. And if my knowledge serves me correctly, this area should have nothing going on. So let's go and check out. Actually, where is it? Dreamer. Yeah, strange visual effect. It's in like the absolute opposite direction. So I have to turn to the right, like all the way over here. And if my theory is correct, that weird visual... Oh. Almost dropped down there. That weird visual effect that I found should not be over here, because I marked exactly where it was. Let's see. Alright, let's see if it's there. It doesn't look like it's there. I'd be able to see it and you'd be able to see it from all the way over here. It's a really, really strange thing that shows up on player death. Yeah, it's not there, strangely enough. So that means that it's only a consequence of player death. But the thing is, even though it is a consequence of player death, it does not show up over the area where the player died. It shows up near the area where the player died, but not directly in the same location. So I'll have to figure out how that works in due time. I am now waiting for an FPS to dip into the 30s, and it is not happening. Okay, so rain does not have nearly as much effect as I thought it would. It is more so mobs that have a huge effect on FPS in this case. Okay, so I'm going to go into journey map here and remove strange visual effect. Close, close. Okay. So this is now the part of the video where I decide whether or not to try repeating the conditions to see what happens. Because to be quite frank, I do not feel like going through all that again, and I do not know if YouTube's servers are actually keeping track of what's happening. New structure. Didn't see that last time. I'm just gonna head back to where I was. Hmm, 50s. Nice. What are you? Oh, we got turkeys nearby. And we are right back where we started. So what I'm going to do now is save and exit, and then from there I'm going to see if I can still get back into this world. Save and go to title. Now do keep in mind I also did remove one mod. It was an add-on for Lost Cities called Lost Souls, but if I remember, yeah, I don't know. One mod. It was I think it said it was a server-only mod, though I could be wrong. Yeah, note that this mod is server-side only. So it should not really impact client side if I remove it. But either way, that is a notable change indeed. Now to test my theory and see whether or not I can get back to this world. Play. F3. Alright. There's the rainstorm that I'm looking for. Let's just start by looking around. Is it safe to move forward? If I jump a little bit. Okay. Doesn't look too bad. What happens if I chop down a tree here? take that. Okay. Things are looking good so far. I think this might actually confirm my theory that something happened between the time of me turning up the difficulty and me dying that may have actually screwed up that world. Strange. And there wasn't an abnormal closing either until after I saved and exited and then tried to go back in. There is one other world that I can indeed test, though. And that would be this one. I don't know what's up with this one. Something tells me my client's gonna crash after just a few seconds. And if it does, I'll end the video there. Because in this one I haven't even died yet. I haven't even moved far from spawn yet. F3. I'm like getting 80 FPS right now. Is it even safe to move? I'm like almost afraid to move at this point. The suspense is killing me. The weird part about these crashes that have happened just now is during each crash the audio keeps going. So something tells me that technically I could keep moving my player even after the screen freezes. And I did use that skull orb, so it's not here any longer, which means, yeah, it means it's already been taken into account of. What happens if I take this torch? I'm gonna take that torch. I'm gonna take that torch. And this chest. Well, first I'm gonna do that. Get away, fly. Yeah. You're locked, right? Yes, 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 you're locked. Right there, that little padlock right there. So we're gonna mark you as locked. Save and close. So guys, in the other world that I just showed you, I went on and restored a world backup to see if there's something wrong with that world. In this one, the same crash happened, but I did not restore a world backup, even though there was one made by Aroma Backup. So restoring a world backup doesn't appear to have been the solution. The one folder that I did get rid of was, I think, called Memory Repo, and it was in the mods folder. That's the only consistency between these two tests. let me reiterate that. For the other world that I was just in, I restored a world backup. For this one, I did not. So both of these worlds, I think, were just fine. Whatever happened to the memory repo folder, which is in the mods folder, between me turning up the difficulty and dying, something that happened in the memory repo folder I think may have actually caused that weird crashing issue. But I have no idea what happened. All I know is I removed it and things have returned to normal now. But I'm not sure if that is actually a solution. I'm not sure what happened. I'm simply restating what you saw me do in the video. And these are clovers. Nice. I have no idea what actually happened at this point. And with some of my test footage gone, because YouTube, for some reason, couldn't keep track of the last live stream that I did, that lost 20 minutes of testing is gone to me, which means that I can't really look closer at what happened on screen to see if there's anything else that may have affected things. So that makes things a little bit more difficult. Consistency during live streaming is an important part of my troubleshooting process. It makes it a lot easier for me to pinpoint things, especially when I'm looking at logs. But for now, I know that this world should be fine. And I know that that other world that I restored should be fine. In fact, I'm actually tempted to restore the version of the world that I had from which I had died in, which had that strange structure in it, just so I can show you guys what happened, just to see if it crashes. But I will do that in a different video. I will see you all later, guys. Peace.